Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my February beauty favorites. So if you guys want to see what products I've been using this month, what products I've been loving the most, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I have a ton of favorites from the drugstore, mostly Wet n Wild because I've tried a lot of their makeup so far this year. I did a review of like all of their new makeup for 2019 so far earlier this month, and then I just reviewed their Rebel Rose collection. I've been loving a lot of those products too, but I'm not going to mention any of those products because I just reviewed that like a week ago and I've only had that for like 2 weeks. But everything else from them I've had since like the middle and end of January, and a lot of the products I've been wearing pretty much daily. So I'm going to start off with their Photo Focus Stick Foundation. I wear the shade Buff Beige, and it's actually like a perfect match, which is sometimes hard to find at the drugstore. A lot of times I don't find drugstore foundations that have like a good like olive yellowy undertone. Usually they tend to be more like pink undertones, but this one's actually like a good match for me. It's a full coverage matte stick foundation. Like it gives really great coverage and it stays in place all day. I don't find that it transfers, so it's a really awesome like full coverage foundation that you can wear for hours and hours. It's not gonna get oily throughout the day. I haven't found that to be the case. I've been wearing this for like photo shoots when I am outside for hours and like changing in the back of a car that's like super hot. That's usually when I know a foundation is good and like can really put it to the test. When it doesn't transfer, like, oh, I hate when I scratch my face throughout the day and like my foundation ends up on my fingernails. It like really grosses me out. So that's not the case with this foundation. It's like $5.99. You could definitely keep it on for like 12, 14, 15 hours, and I don't find that it changes throughout the day or anything like that. Let me actually get into another foundation before I go back into the Wet n Wild products, because this is kind of like the opposite of that foundation, but I really love it, and it's a foundation I wear more on like light makeup days. I'm actually wearing it today, so I could wear it with like a full face of makeup and it doesn't look weird or anything. It doesn't look like it's too light coverage. But this is new from Laura Mercier. It's their Flawless Lumiere Radiance-Perfecting Foundation. It's a really long name, but this is new from Laura Mercier. I really like this foundation. It's a very hydrating foundation. It is lightweight. Like I do apply more than I do with other liquid foundations just to get like a solid medium to full coverage. If you were to build this up to full coverage, like you're gonna be using double the foundation that you normally use with other liquid foundations. So I usually end up wearing this for like lighter coverage makeup days, just like a really quick like 10-minute makeup look. But if I want to build it up, it doesn't look cakey or heavy. Like today I put on probably twice as much as I do on a like really light makeup day, or I just go in with like a second pump and it blends out really nicely. It doesn't like look cakey at all, and it doesn't feel heavy on your skin. So you could definitely build it up. But if you're going for full coverage, this is definitely not the foundation. So I've basically just been rotating between the Photo Finish Stick Foundation for like full coverage makeup days, and then this for like lighter coverage days. And this has been like one of my favorites right now. A lot of times if I'm like, oh, I only have like 10 minutes to do my makeup and I don't want to do a full face, I will go for this because it makes my skin look so good that I don't need to like go in with a lot of like bronzer or highlighter or other things that help bring that glow back to my skin. So that's why I really like it too, that the rest of my face makeup can stay pretty minimal, because on its own it doesn't look like a lot of foundation. It just makes your skin look really glowy, healthy, hydrated, and I can get away with like wearing less overall because of the finish of this foundation. So loving that one. Oh, and I'm in the shade 2W1 Macadamia. They have a ton of shades, a ton of undertones as well. And then next, sticking with some more face products. This is a rediscovered favorites, and I was so excited about this. You guys saw how excited I was about getting this in my BoxyCharm this month, and this is the No Pore Primer from Touch in Sol. This is an amazing primer, and I had like a little baby sample that I think I got in an Ipsy that lasted me a couple weeks, and I loved every last drop of it. And I totally thought this was like a super expensive primer, but I think it's like right around $20. I think it's actually like $18 for this whole bottle at Sephora. It's amazing. It really reminds me of my Smashbox Primerizer, but it gives you a little bit more of a pore filling effect. So really love this primer so much. Once I got this back into my life, I'm like, I cannot believe that I went so long without this, because this is really an amazing primer. I feel like this is really great for a lot of skin tones because it's not overly hydrating that's going to make your skin oily, but it does give you that hydration. It gives you a good pore filling effect as well, and it works really nicely with basically any type of foundation, liquid foundation, stick foundation, light coverage, full coverage. I love it with everything. It's just like an overall awesome primer. Kind of covers all the bases of what I want in like most primers. Let me move back into some of the products from Wet n Wild. I'm wearing one of them on my eyes today. This is awesome. I feel like this is totally underrated. So this is their Liquid Catsuit Shimmer Liquid Eyeshadow. I've tried a couple of different shades. I think I did a Get Ready With Me and showed you guys one of the metallic ones, but this one is a gorgeous color. This one is Cashmere Love. I'm wearing it today on my eyes. I have Midnight Cowboy from Urban Decay as like a little mini, what's it called, like cut crease in my inner corner, but like overall on my lid, all I have on is this, and this is gorgeous. I'll swatch it so you guys can see what it looks like on its own. It's like this taupey liquid eyeshadow, and it's so beautiful. And a lot of times products like this can be kind of tricky because if you apply too much, it can just get gloopy and messy and you might need to start all over. Or if you apply it like too high up in your crease, because it's a wet product, when you try to blend it out with powder eyeshadow, it just ends up like oxidizing and looking really weird, and it just looks like a mess. And a lot of products end up like that for me, and I was actually so impressed that these do not do that. I've tried like darker shades, lighter shades, and I haven't found that to be the case with any of them. So that makes it super, super easy to use. Like today, I have it pretty high up in my crease, and then I just blended it out my transition shade, and it blends out all smoothly together. There's no like streak of where the liquid shadow was and then the powder shadow was, which can be the case with some other products. So that's why I really like this. It dries completely. I don't find that it has like fallout throughout the day of any of the shimmer or anything. So really, really recommend these if you guys have not tried it out. So the shade that I've been loving is Cashmere Love, and I definitely need to try out some more shades, but just because I love this shade so much, that's the one I've been wearing the most. It definitely goes with like every lip color as well, so that's why I really like it. It's like more of a neutral glam shade. Highly recommend that. I was really impressed with those. Like if you want a Stila dupe, definitely check those out. It's not as glittery as like the Glitter and Glows. And I haven't tried out the liquid shadows from Stila, but I'm sure it's like a very similar product. And then also I have two more products from Wet n Wild. One of them is their loose highlighters. These are awesome. I've been more into loose highlighters lately. The one I wear the most is this one, I'm So Lit. Yeah, this one in the shade I'm So Lit. This is like a white gold kind of champagne color. Super pretty. This has been my go-to all month. It's a really great highlighter because it doesn't emphasize texture. It's really finely pigmented. You could build it up to be like super intense, or you could wear it really lightly too. It's really universal and just look like very silky and smooth on your skin. Today I'm wearing the shade All Glown Up. This is more of like a rose gold highlighter. They're so pretty. These are huge, and I think they're like $5.99. So if you just get one, it will last you like 2 years. I just love highlighters that look like really buttery on your skin. And at first I didn't like loose highlighters because there was just like an extra step of like dumping it into the cap, and I'm lazy and I felt like it always ends up messy. But sometimes it's just so much easier because you don't have to like really dig into the pan and like layer on highlighter because it's already loose and it's just gonna glide onto your skin. So I've been really into that. And then lastly, also from Wet n Wild, I'm really loving their Liquid Catsuits High Shine lipsticks. I talked about a few in the Rebel Rose collection, but from the original collection, this one is my favorite in the shade Sun Nudes. It's just like a really neutral nude shade. This one like lives in my purse. It's kind of like a cool tone nude. Really like this shade. You guys can tell it's pretty opaque. So it's basically like a high shine liquid lipstick, but it actually stays on your lips a lot better than some of those similar products, even ones that are high end. It's like a really opaque lip gloss that really sticks onto your lips and gives you a little bit more pigmentation. So I've been really, really liking the formula. It's really opaque, comfortable, hydrating on your lips. And some other shiny liquid lipstick products, I feel like it just sits on top of your lips. So as soon as like you take a sip of something, or just like as it wears after like an hour or two, it comes off really quickly. But this, I feel like it actually holds on to your lips, and like the pigment stays on your lips even as it's fading away. So that's why I really, really like these. Especially this shade is like one of my favorite lip products at the moment. And then, yes, that's everything from Wet n Wild, but I do have one more drugstore product. This is from CoverGirl. This is one of their newest mascaras. It's the Exhibitionist Mascara. Really, really liking this. I have it on my bottom lashes. You can see they're like kind of feathery. And it's like a really great volume and length mascara that isn't moussey. And a lot of time, volumizing mascaras have like a really moussey feel to them. Like Too Faced Better Than Sex is probably like the best example of that, where a lot of product gets onto your lashes, but then it makes your lashes look even shorter. But this doesn't have that kind of formula, so it still makes your lashes really voluminous, but it still lengthens your lashes at the same time. And sometimes it's hard to find a mascara that does both, but this is actually like a very similar one to like Better Than Sex, where it has the dip in the middle and then fluffier on the outer corners. But this is a great mascara when I'm not wearing falsies, because it actually makes my lashes like really lengthen and actually show up, and it doesn't look like super thin. So really been liking this for both top and bottom lashes. Really great formula, easy to remove at the end of the day. It doesn't flake. I can layer on this mascara and it's not going to get clumpy, and it actually makes my lashes look really defined, like each individual lash, and not just like a clump of black on my eyeballs. So really been liking this one for sure, especially whenever I'm not wearing falsies. And then lastly, we have like the best product that I've tried this year probably, and something that I have been wanting for months and months and months, and you guys have been seeing this on my Instagram. Dose of Colors Francation palette. This is the most beautiful palette in my collection, the packaging and also the shades. I have been absolutely loving this palette. It makes me so happy just looking at it. This is a gorgeous palette. I use everything in this palette. It's such a beautiful palette. I need to do a tutorial maybe with this blue shade. I have one with this darker blue on my Instagram. Love the red shade. I'm wearing all of like the transition shades on my eyes today. Even when I've been wearing like other products on my lid, I use like all the transition shades in here, because like every transition shade that I normally use is in here, and basically every lid color that I normally use is in here. Like this gold one, I feel like in the next 2-3 months I'm gonna hit pan on this shade because I really, really like it. I also love cranberry tones, and then this green, it's like olive. I love greens that are like neutral, and that one, it may not look super neutral, but when I blend this out on my lid with some of like the brown transition shades, it's like a pop of green that's like more wearable compared to some other shades. I'll show you guys like 1 or 2 more colors because they're super pigmented. Oh, these shades are all like so pretty. Really, really love the formula. I do wish that the more neutrally champagne shade was a bit more like foiled compared to like the green, this cranberry shade, and some of the blue shades. That one's a little bit chunkier, and that's the shade that I'm gonna wear the most. But overall, really, really happy with the formula of like every shade in this palette, and it's so easy to just use this palette because it has all those transition shades, and it has enough color in it, and it has enough neutrals in it that I could wear it for like a whole month on its own, and I'm not gonna get tired of it because it's gonna be like completely different looks every time. Alright guys, so that's gonna be everything for my February favorites. I never have too many products in my favorites because once I discover something, I just want to use it every single day, like the Francation palette. The foundations are like the only foundations I've been wearing this month, and pretty much the same goes for everything else that I mentioned. So all the products will be listed in my description box, and definitely let me know what products you guys have been loving for February or so far this year in the comments below. And that's going to be everything for today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.